All right, solve for the missing side. It says solve for x, and you can see I have a right triangle, and I have two known sides, which means I can find the third side by using Pythagorean Theorem. So we'll do that with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Identify our hypotenuse in every single right triangle, and that will be our c. And the other two sides, our x and 24, can go either in a or our b. And then we proceed to solve. I actually forget what these are. 24 squared is 576. This one I do know. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 576 from both sides. And 900 minus 576 gives us 324. So these cross off. X squared is by itself. What is left over on the right side is 324. Last step to get our x by itself is to square root both sides, and the square root of 324 is 18. Pythagorean theorem again. Identify our hypotenuse. It is x this time, so 10 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. 10 squared plus 24 squared adds up to 676. And square root both sides, so those cancel out. And the square root of 676 is equal to 26. All right, so if a triangle has three acute angles, then the triangle is acute. If the triangle has one right angle, then it is a right triangle. And finally, if the triangle has one obtuse angle, it is an obtuse triangle. For these three questions, we are checking to see if it is a right triangle or not. If it is not, then we will identify if it's either acute or obtuse. So 6, 8, 10, our biggest number is going to be our C. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. 6 squared plus 8 squared adds up to 100. So it is a right triangle. This triangle, we have a 2 square root 29. So put that in your calculator to see what value that comes out to be. It is 10.7, which means that is our largest side. So that will be our C. So 4 squared plus 10 squared equals 2 square root 29 squared. 4 squared is 16, 10 squared is 100, so 116. This 2 squared square root 29, or sorry, 2 square root 29 squared can be written as 2 squared and 29 squared. 2 squared is 4. These cancel out, so it's just simply times 29. 4 times 29 is 116, so it is also a right triangle. Same thing over here. Put square root 71 into your calculator, and we get 8 point something something, which is also our biggest side. So 7 squared plus 5 squared is equal to the square root of 71 squared. 7 squared is 49. 5 squared is 25. 49 plus 25 is 74. And these cancel out, so it is 71. That's not true, so it's not a right triangle. When this side is larger, it is obtuse. When this side is larger, it is acute. Okay, so this side over here is larger, so we have an obtuse triangle. All right, so we have two special right triangles. These are also on the board in the classroom. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. If you don't understand these, go back into Khan and work on some more of the questions in there. So we have a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. The side that we have is our hypotenuse. In our hypotenuse in the 45, 45, 90, that is a square root 2. So 3 square root 2 equals a square root 2. We divide by square root 2 on both sides. And a is equal to 3. If you look at our x and y, where they fit on the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, those are equal to a, which is what our 3 is. So x is equal to y, which is equal to 3. In a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, we have opposite our 30, which is 2. In our example triangle, opposite 30 is a. So 2 equals a. Now we can find our y and x. Our y is equal to a square root 3. would be 2 square root 3. And x is equal to 2a, which would just simply be 6. 2 times 3. Or sorry, 4. Oops. I was thinking 3. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, 2 more. So we have adjacent to 30 is 3 square root 3. And that is equal to a square root 3. We're going to divide by square root 3 on both sides. And those cross off. Our a is equal to 3. And in our example triangle, opposite 30 is going to be a. So that is simply 3. And then our x is equal to 2a, which would be 6. I'm going to allow you to copy this one down out of the answer key. Okay, find the trigonometric ratios for x. All right, so we're going to find sine, cosine, and tan. So sine is opposite, and our hypotenuse is here. Always label that first. So opposite over hypotenuse is 28 over 35. Adjacent is 21 over 35. And finally, tan is going to be opposite over adjacent, which is 28 over 21. Now we're doing z. So here's our indicated angle. Hypotenuse is still 35. So sine is 21 over 35. Cosine is 28 over 35, and tan will be 21 over 28. All right, find the missing side, round to the nearest tenth. Hypotenuse is here. We have it, so we care about it. Our indicated angle is there, and we're looking for our adjacent side, which means we're using cosine of 54 is equal to x over 12. Multiply both sides by 12. Those cancel off. X is equal to 12 cosine 54, which equals 7.05, and right in the nearest tenth, so 7.1. Hypotenuse is here. We have it. We care about it, and we're looking for the opposite, so it's sine here. Sine 43 equals x over 22. Just like the last one, multiply by a denominator, which is not x, it is 22. Try that again. And those cross off. X is equal to 22 sine 43. And that is 15.0. Or just 15. So this one, hypotenuse is here. We don't have anything there, so we're going to be using tan. Oops, did that wrong. So our indicated angle is here. It is opposite over adjacent. Now this problem, our x is in our denominator. Still multiply by it. That moves those guys. And we have x times tan of 38 is equal to 20. The last step here is to divide by tan of 38. Those cross off. X is equal to 20 over tan 38, which is 25.6 or 5.9. Now we're finding the missing angle. So very similar. Find the hypotenuse. It is there. We don't have it, so we don't care about it. Our missing angle is theta instead of x. Opposite is 34 over 39. I'm making a video. So we're taking inverse tan of both sides. Our tans cross off. Theta is equal to the inverse tan of 34 over 39, which is 41 degrees. Find the missing angle again. Hypotenuse is our 19. Our indicated angle is here, and we have the opposite. So that is sine of theta is equal to 16 over 19. Inverse sine of both sides, and we get 57 degrees. So theta is 57 degrees. One more missing angle question. Hypotenuse is 45. We have our adjacent, so we're using cosine of theta is equal to 26 over 45. Inverse cosine of both sides, and we get 26 over 45, 55 degrees.